Hi, friends. Ethan here. Today, I want to show you why my favorite Star Trek Voyager episode, and one of my favorite episodes in all of Star Trek, is 30 Days. It's the ninth episode in Season 5. This Voyager background was made by Smear World. You can find all of Smear World's backgrounds in the link in the description for this video. Let's begin with a recap. Tom Paris is flanked by two security officers in Janeway's ready room. She demotes him to ensign and sentences him to 30 days of solitary confinement. Tom says defiantly, "I know the way," and stalks down the corridor. He enters the brig, lays down, and stares off into space. While in the brig, Tom begins dictating a letter to his father, going over the reasons that got him into trouble. Voyager encountered a planet made entirely of water, bigger than the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans combined, which I also think was Chakotay's only line in the entire episode. The beings who lived there, the Moneans, were nomadic 300 years before. When they encountered the water planet, they set down roots, building an infrastructure to create a stable habitat. They farm oxygen and food from the waters. Voyager's technology is far better than theirs, and during a briefing, Tom volunteers Voyager to check out why the gravitational field at the center of the oceans are fluctuating, causing the ocean to lose containment. Janeway instead tells him he can use the Delta Flyer, which he agrees to. Tom picks Harry as his first mate, and 7 of 9 as his boatswain. Together with one of the Moneans, Riga, they head down to check out the ocean center. There, they find a reactor over 100,000 years old. It's malfunctioning, which is why the ocean planet is losing containment. On board Voyager, Captain Janeway lets Consul Burkus, the Monean representative, know that the containment will be completely lost in 5 years. After giving their information to Burkus, the Voyager crew learn that it will be discussed by committees, but the Moneans may not take any direct action. Tom shows his teeth during the briefing, and Burkus tells him, in no uncertain terms, that Voyager doesn't know what they're talking about, and Tom can basically take his opinion and shove it. After Burkus leaves, Janeway admonishes Tom for his shitty attitude and tells him to have Voyager ready to leave orbit by 1400 hours. Tom finds Riga in the transporter room, and together they decide to destroy one of the oxygen refineries to force the Monean government to deal with the crisis directly. Their plan is foiled when Voyager fires a torpedo from orbit and destroys the missile Tom and Riga were attempting to use to destroy the refinery. We revisit the opening scene, this time with more dialogue back and forth between Paris and Janeway. The episode ends with Tom finishing his letter to his father and ending his 30-day sentence by returning to his duties. I do have some qualms about a society as advanced as the Federation still using solitary confinement as a form of punishment. It's torture. And in fact, Tom calls it out, sardonically asking Neelix if the phrase cruel and unusual means anything to the captain, and solitary confinement is both cruel and unusual. But something that can't go unmentioned about this episode is its writing. It's definitely one of the best penned episodes of Voyager. The dialogue is concise, it is subtle, it is brilliantly subtle. This is definitely a Tom Paris episode, but we get to see banter between Tom and Harry, between Tom and Janeway, and Tom and B'Elanna. So the episode begins after the credits roll with a great Captain Proton scene. Tom, Harry, and the Delaney sisters, which are characters I wish they'd use more of, by the way. It's revisited near the end of Act 4, the set itself, as a refuge for Tom after Janeway's dressing down, following the briefing with Consul Burkus. B'Elanna goes into the holodeck where the Captain Proton scene is active, and Tom's sitting there glum and sad. And he explains to her that he'd originally seen this mission as a way to fulfill boyhood fantasies. But he'd found something more important. And she says to him that it looks like he's found a cause. he says he's never really seen himself as a cause kind of guy. And B'Elanna says, maybe Captain Proton can't save the day, but Tom Paris still might be able to. Early on in the episode, we have a moment between Tom and Harry in the turbo lift. This is right after the Captain Proton scene with the Delaney sisters. And Tom tells Harry he's happy how good things seem to be going between Harry and Jenny Delaney. And Harry tells Tom that it's not Jenny he likes, it's Megan. They're the Delaney sisters, Harry. They're twins. And Harry rebukes him with how Jenny's personality doesn't fit him. And it's Megan's personality that he likes because she's more introverted and she comes across as more intriguing for him. And we get this interesting dichotomy of Tom's crassness, again, illustrated. But Harry is more interested in the woman who intrigues him intellectually. During Tom and Catherine's debate following the briefing with Consul Burkus, they're on both sides of the debate as to what to do. Tom thinks that they should do anything they can to save the ocean, and Janeway has a duty to her ship and to her crew and to her mission. And while Janeway agrees that the Monaians likely aren't going to change anything, she insists that it's their prerogative. It's the Monaians' ocean to destroy. She sympathizes with Tom's feelings, but his duty to Starfleet and his ship must come first. I feel like dichotomies such as this are examples of when Trek can be at its greatest. The fact that the person on the other side isn't just doing it for revenge or just because they're evil, but because there's bureaucracy, or that's how their society works, that's how they grew up, that's what they know, that's what they're comfortable with. These kinds of justifications are the key to good storytelling in a morality play. So I wonder if 30 Days is on your short list for the best Star Trek episodes of all time. Let me know in the comments. Please leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content just like this. I'm Ethan. Thanks for watching.